Welcome, everybody. How are we doing? We are joined this evening with Matt. I think we've finally sussed it. We done it the hard way round, but I think we got there in the end, didn't we?
Yeah, and so I think tonight will be a good test and be ready for Monday. But yeah, hopefully they can hear me this time and see me this time as well.
Yeah, they should be able to. Yeah, I definitely sort of cheated it a bit though, didn't I? I decided to phone you in Messenger and then video capture the phone call in Messenger and stream it live. That's sort of the way I decided to do it in the end, wasn't it? Which is how I'll do it with everyone. I think they'll just video call me on Messenger or phone me on Messenger, and I shall screen capture them through OBS and then do all my fancy wizardry on OBS and video call it. Sorry, guys, about the camera moving backwards and forwards. It's my new webcam and it's tracking me, and I keep on forgetting. And to be fair, it's really distracting because I keep on looking over at it, moving on the screen left and right. And Matt likes it so much he's going to buy one.
Yeah, I'm actually, yeah, I'm going to get one ordered this week. One of those ones anyway. I'll have a basic one up and ready just so I can get it all set up ready for Monday at 7. And then I think on our next chat later in the week, live event, I'll be having the same camera as you, Angel. So it'll probably be following me around. So I like to sometimes pace and walk when I'm talking, back from my old presenting days. And yeah, I think we can have some fun with this camera. But yeah, the quality is insane. I can hear you perfectly. And yeah, it's interesting how it just follows your head, tracks it everywhere, zooms in, zooms out.
Oh, it
So
follows the dog and that as well, which I'm sure everyone's going to want to see. Where is she? That's Boo Boo, so everyone can see how she's feeling because I've walked her today. She's doing amazing. She's so happy now, and I think, come on, oh, she's waiting for my son, right? Because he's gone away. She's literally waiting for him at the bottom of the stairs. It's so cute but heartbreaking. She lies there waiting for him to come downstairs because she doesn't realise that he's not there. Oi, come on, he's not there. Boo Boo, come on, Kyle's not here. Come and see. Come and see. Up. There we go. There she is, guys. Here she is. Okay. She's going to be very noisy in the microphone, though, but there she is. Okay. She's getting so much better now. And when a very good friend of mine come round today, and while we were sat chatting, Boo Boo would not leave her alone, and Boo Boo's made a new friend. So that was nice. But
there we go.
so how's your week been then, Mr. Matt?
My week, I think you know how my week's been. I've been extremely busy behind the scenes helping you.
Uh, Lovely message. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, can see and hear you both. Brilliant, outstanding. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's good to know. Yeah, no, so we've been doing a lot behind the scenes, haven't we? We've been making a few adjustments to the pages. We've got some plans moving forward for regular content every day that'll be uploaded. I think we're going to look at doing moving forward a couple of live events every week.
Yeah,
And obviously, we've been talking about getting other people in the live stream as well, so we can hear from their opinions. Because I'm not on here as the main face at all. I'm not I'm not professional, not qualified in that sense. Just like you guys, I just have had my own experiences that I want to share with you. Because after reading a lot of your experiences, it's all the same. It's completely the same. So we want to start addressing these issues moving forward so we can all sort of come together and maybe find solutions together and create kind of a movement in a positive manner to try
mm,
and affect change essentially. But in the meantime, yeah, I think like the videos, we really want to start answering questions, general questions that we see quite often. And we'd like to post those questions, up on our streams, and then we can answer them directly. And obviously live on stream as well. We can start looking at your comments as when we start talking, when we start getting more. This becomes more consistent every single week, twice a week on the live, like I said, and daily uploads of videos. We'll start attracting more people to watch the stream, more questions, more of a debate, more solutions, and the more of us doing this at once, I think the quicker we can start getting some results moving forward. Because there's a lot that needs to happen, a lot of reform in the UK, especially with the way child services are. And yeah, so I've been dealing with this for so long now. It's
too
2018,
long, too long.
too long, and since I saw it happening elsewhere around the country, all the different counties, it's just the same, let's say, strategies and tactics that people are complaining about, and one of the main things that brought me here was reading your stories, and I was like, you know what, I need to do what you guys do. I need to start talking more, come out in public, get other people's opinions, because I'm not the holy grail for answers. I'm still learning off you guys. I'm reading some of your posts, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that. That's interesting. That might be a strategy that I might apply to my case. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of exciting things coming more consistently, and I'm looking forward to my Unite the Children top arriving. So I'll be wearing that on.
I think, to be honest with that one, mate, I think because the amount of time they take to arrive and stuff from China, um, I think, yeah, this is not a serious one tonight, mate. I will be joking and laughing about, like when you said earlier about the face of Unite the Children. Well, unfortunately, that's mine. So I'm gonna have to go and see a lovely lady I know about some Botox. I've
Okay.
also got to see if I can get a dentist to sponsor me to fix my teeth.
Sort mine out as well, mate. You're not only
Well,
equally,
the missing snap one there, that's a memory, and I'm really reluctant to get it fixed, but it's got to be done. But I've been putting it off because it's actually how that happened is like a memory. And I'll tell you a story behind that is I rub my tongue on it. It's like a thing I do. So yeah, there's a whole different story about behind that I'll go into at some point. And getting back to about your hoodie,
Yeah.
with the amount of time it takes for them to arrive, I'll probably hand deliver it to you at the weekend.
Oh, right, yeah, of course. Yeah, that'd be good actually, because just like the British rivals of Cambridgeshire and Oxfordshire colleges and university boat races, we've got us uniting now, haven't we? Cambridgeshire and Oxfordshire. So it was an interesting story actually when I met you, Angel, because we sort of learned that I'd actually used to go literally round the corner from yours for about 7 years where I used to work. So it was just very interesting how sort of close to home it was, and with family that way as well. So yeah, it's I'm actually looking forward to us meeting. We'll put our heads together, more content, more ideas.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go and have a meeting. We're gonna have to go and have a ploughman's, I think.
I think so, yeah. And in the future, as this expands, which is what I'm hoping to do here, to create more awareness and bring more people together, we'll start doing events around the country and starting to meet people as well. And I think I think that's a good thing,
Evening, guys. Sorry, Matt, mate. So I don't know if you can see chat. Evening, how are you guys? Love the poster and the name Unite the Children. Well done. It's great. Thank you. I actually come up with the name Unite the Children, and the way I come up with the name, because I had a few ideas and I put it forward to a couple of people I know, and I said, "What do you think about these names?" And everyone agreed, Unite the Children, because at the moment with all the Unite the Kingdom movements and that, it sort of ties in as in like the name sort of thing. It rolls off the tongue. It's to the point, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to literally unite the children, as in we're trying to unite the children back with parents. You know, that's what we're trying to do. So unite the children as a whole is like, yeah. So yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like the name. I really do as well. I think it's fantastic. And the logo wasn't my idea though. The logo was done by Aidan. What a legend. He's done an excellent job on the logo. I've been tweaking it and changing it a bit because now we've got like the autism sign and stuff on the t-shirt of the actual child raising his arm and that. So there's been some tweaks and that going on, and the English map and Union Jacks on it because well, we can get into that later, can't we? Because we've got a 2-year plan, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah. We've got the 2-year plan essentially. Yeah, we've put a lot together very quickly. We're going to start moving across, not across or away from Facebook, but we're going to start increasing the other platforms to get further reach as well. Because actually, we've seen, and you guys watching, and I can recognize some of your names now. I appreciate the messages. There's a lot of professional bodies out there on other platforms that we can't reach on here. So we're going to be building the other platforms so we can connect them with us as well. So the more people we can connect with, whether it's media, whether it's journalists, whether it's retired social workers or anyone else in the field, the more people we can bring over to our Facebook and connect with our users, including us, it's invaluable information. You get the right people aboard and the information is priceless. So we want to try and pull as many of these people in under one umbrella so we can start making a change and expediting things really as quickly as possible, because now we are in the time of change. The world's gone a bit insane lately, and so is technology. And the way we can all connect to each other, around the world just by sitting in our own rooms and our houses now, it's incredible. And I think a lot of the biggest problem is with children and unification. It takes so long. The process is so outdated before the technology revolution that's upon us now. Where something would take 3 years of back and forth, it should now. There's no reason why these things can't be actually addressed and dealt with within a few months.
I still think it takes too long, because even when you get your directions and that hearing, your final hearing a lot of the time isn't 6 to 8 months afterwards, and that's another 6 to 8 months without your child. And it's a lot. You may think, oh well, 6 months ain't long. It's a long time. It's a day after day after day when all you do is think about your child. It's literally, it's a form of torture, mate, and everything's delayed. And it's like social services, oh, we'll get back to you in a month. And it's like, why a month? Why not a week? Why does it have to be a whole month? It's like, But anyway, tonight was more of a get to know you, have a chat, and all the social services and stuff. That's going to come obviously very soon at a later date. Well, literally next week. This was just the sort of get a feel for if people want the live streams and moving forward, and just basically saying what we're doing, interactions and that. So I'm not gonna go on one of my rants tonight, guys. I promise. I'm gonna keep it as light and as cheerful as possible. So yeah.
I can see what you're saying, and Sergeant, I've been watching your posts on our page as well, and you're completely aligned with what I want to do and what Angel's doing. And it is torture, Teresa, for the children, and you're absolutely right, because the wishes and feelings of children. They've seemed to have forgotten about that, the system and the politics, and it's more about the adults and the agencies rather than what the children need. They're more interested in what the children can bring to them rather than what we need to give the children.
It's all about financial game as well, mate. But like I said, I'm not going to go down that route tonight.
We can have that discussion, in the future, like in questions and answers. We can talk about that, and we can bring other people onto the chat and have, let them tell us their experiences.
Well, we're literally going to be discussing everything at some point, literally every aspect we possibly can. And also getting back to the 2-year plan is the X and the TikTok's taking its time, because there's been some issues around that, but which me and Matt are not going to discuss clearly online because it's technical issues and other issues around that. So that hasn't happened as quick as possible, but as soon as it happens, we want it to happen right and without no sort of how should we put it? No third party intervention. Let's put it that way, shall we? That's probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah. I think the problem is at the moment, and I can understand why, because the first, few years back, a couple of years back, I was losing my mind a little bit. I was so frustrated. I was venting like crazy. And I just couldn't understand why there's such a hold up in the legal system and family law and with social services, why these things have to take so long. And what was the biggest thing for me, and this is the question that I always ask but never get the response to, is it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter what you did do or didn't do. The point in most of the social work cases that I've read into, they make up they fabricate and they make up some things to make them look worse than what they are. And in some cases, they just outright lie about what they've seen at your property or what they've heard. And my question to them always is, if you need to make up lies to meet your threshold, then what really have we done wrong? Because if we have done so wrong, then why are you having to add these extra bits in there that aren't true to make it look much more of a negative impact in the court? So in many of these cases, and I think soon, I think more courts and judges are going to start maybe paying more attention, because what upsets me most about the family court versus the Crown courts and things, the Crown courts, it's all about evidence and fact. You really have to prove your point. In the family court, it's all about what the judge believes. And when it comes to children, it's almost like it's the wrong way round.
I've shared stuff on here where literally people have sent me documents and gone, yes, you can share these, or they've shared them themselves. And it's actually a court order where it says we have come to this decision because of hearsay. And you're like, what? What? In a criminal court, you would never find me guilty on hearsay. So people are losing their children on hearsay instead of actual factual evidence. And that is just totally and utterly wrong. However you look at it, how can a judge make a ruling on hearsay, whether it's family or not? It shouldn't happen. And I think even more so in a family court, because, okay, you go to prison, you get an end date, you get out. It is what it is, right? Okay, you know when you're getting out, you're in there for something, you're done, that's it. Okay, innocent people go to prison, but I'm not even going to go down that route tonight, right? Whereas family court, you make a decision which can then last 18 years of yours and your child's life, if that child's firstborn. You are making a decision on hearsay which can affect that child for 18 years, and sometimes, like in my case, for life. 40 years on, my care experience, right, is still part of me. So, you know what I mean? There's no end date.
And what Teresa Cross has come up with here, you can record them, and she always did. You can record them, and actually, I can't remember the year. It's an investigatory act. I think it's 1986 or 1988. You are allowed to record people without their consent for your own personal use.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use it though. That's the problem. You can't use it. A lot of times the judges and that will never see it.
Actually, no. So if you want a third party to look at the footage you recorded, you'd obviously need that person's permission. Now, naturally, when people find out they've been recorded and they've done wrong, they won't give you permission. However, one thing I did learn is that when it comes to court proceedings and you have some evidence that they won't give you permission to have someone else listen to, the judge can, from what I understand, actually listen to it without the permission. And if he deems that that recording would change the outcome of the case, then he would submit it. But the judges can do that. I had a similar situation back in, it was 2018, actually, in the third quarter. And there was some evidence that was recorded. I didn't get the permission of said person, but it was such a significant thing that they'd lied about. The judge was able to listen to it without permission. He submitted it because it changed the outcome of the case completely. So there are ways around things. I mean, I like to record things. I'll tell you why I do like recording. I think what those who've seen some of my videos already, I mentioned that I've been bipolar for 10 years. And, for me, I can go through spouts of mania and psychosis. And actually what that means is I don't always know, potentially I could be delusional. And I fully admit that. So the reason I actually record everything I do is so I can then go back and recollect things. And did I get it wrong? Did I not? But the thing that I found sick to my core was when these professionals were actually making out that I was delusional and lying when I wasn't. So when you someone with a capacity to be delusional and actually make them think they are or they're not, it's disgusting and sick. So they didn't know for 3 years.
It's gaslighting at its worst. That's what it is.
101. And they ripped me off thinking I was a nobody on the spectrum sort of thing. But they've obviously met their match at last, because I've been giving them a lot of grief, and I've realised I've started to get some success in areas where other people have tried. I was quite fortunate in this sense that I had access to funds to do private law proceedings, and now I want to share, over the course of time, my strategies, my success, hearing in people's individual cases. Obviously, they can only share so much with me.
Oh, hold on, Matt. Sorry, mate. Samantha, if you would like to send me that video, I'm not going to use it, obviously, but if you'd like to send me that video, because I'd really like personally to see that video. And then after watching the video, you've got the 17-minute one, discuss it with you. That'll be fantastic. And just see what's what, see what you'd like to do with the video going ahead, if anything at all on that. So, yeah, if you could send me that, please. If you could email me it. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, guys, actually tonight as well, is I'll set up a separate email account for this as well, because I haven't actually done that yet, believe it or not. You may think I just sit here, guys, like looking after my dog and taking care of my son when he's about, but literally I'm at this 24/7. If I'm not sat at this computer, I'm on the phone to someone. Someone's messaging me, someone's called me, somebody's just, is crying and they like want to talk. It's like this is like turned into like 24/7. full-time job, unpaid. I think I do more hours than most people, to be fair. But yeah, so literally, I haven't even set up an email yet, which is something I need to do. So can I? Right, getting back to the 2-year plan, it is. We want basically Unite the Children UK and all around the world. And I'll tell you why, guys, because I've had a lot of messages on Messenger, and I've had a lot of followers from United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. Australia, definitely. And can I just please say something to all the Australians, please, guys? When you finish work and it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right? It's 5 o'clock in the morning here. So when you finish work, please, can you not make your first thing you do phone me? Can you go home, have a shower, have something to eat, chill out, and phone me about 9 o'clock at night? Because then that's 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm up. Because at the moment you guys are phoning me at 4 and 5 in the morning and I'm fast asleep. So there's a 12-hour difference, guys, all you lovely, lovely, amazing people in Australia. But please stop phoning me at 5 in the morning when you finish work.
You know what? That reminds me of a brilliant Only Horse and Horses sketch. You know, where you say I'm working 24/7, but not at night.
Yeah, I'm working in my sleep, mate, because I sometimes as well I wake up if I'm not being woke up at 5 in the morning by a phone call. I wake up and an idea's come into my head at night, and then I'm on the computer going, "Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna to see if it'll even work and that." But yeah, so the plan is, guys, is you have Unite the Kingdom UK, which is basically Unite the Kingdom now. That's basically going to stay. But if anybody then at some point wants to do Unite the Kingdom Birmingham, Manchester, that's fine. But it's going to be Unite the Kingdom Australia, Unite the Kingdom, everywhere. So that's the 2-year plan. Also, really looking into a merchandise shop, but it's very, very expensive just to start one up in the first place. So I'm having an issue with that right now. So that one is going to take a while, unfortunately, because I haven't got the funds to start the shop in the first place, because I don't want to make anything from it. So say a hoodie is 40 quid posted, that's how much will be charged, 40 quid postage, or hopefully less, because I honestly do not want to make a penny out of this. Also, my goal in the future is to get a camper van, and turn part of the camper van into a studio. So when I go interviewing people and doing podcasts and you telling me your stories and stuff, it's so much easier for me, the underdog, to just rock up, do it, and then sleep, and then come back home instead of trying to pay for hotels, B&Bs, finding the area and all that. Just the headache of the logistics behind it. It's easier just to do that. Also, I'd like to mention, if anyone wants to have their story told in the future, you can do it anonymously. So you can come on here with no video, right, and have a recording, not live, so it can be edited if needed, and it'll just be your voice. We'll change your name and everything. Or you can go full, how shall I put this? Balls to the wall, sorry. How shall I put this? You can go full, like, balls to the wall and have your face on here and everything. It's entirely up to you guys. But anybody wants to get their story across, you can do it anonymously. It'll just be your voice. I haven't got the know-how or the editing software to be able to change your voice. But yeah, so you can do it live or you can do it recorded. I can come to you where you live and do it, because I've recently got this, had it donated, which is absolutely amazing. You wouldn't believe it. So guys, I've literally just got this awesome piece of kit here with this is probably going to blind you, with a light and everything. Full HD, top of the range camera for doing the personal videos if I come to your place where you live and stuff. Also in the van, this is what I'll be using. So yeah. So long term, guys, I want to literally tour the UK when obviously my son's independent. And obviously this all depends on whether or not my other children come home, because I'm not going to drive about with an 11-year-old in a van all over the country, as much as he would love it. I know for a fact he would absolutely love it, but he's going to have schooling and stuff if my children come back. So yeah, but that is the plan at some point, to tour the country and meeting all of you.
Yeah, and this is the long-term plan that I'm doing, that I'm going to work with Angel on. First of all, actually, Anna Sargent, I see about the AI generated meeting notes. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing now. I mean, I'm heavily involved in AI myself. I've done quite some time with AI architecture. I'm actually in the process now of being accredited, enrolled and accredited with certificates for actually. Uh, I'm a cyber nut. I love AI. But you're right. The thing is, AI it suffers what's called hallucinations. It puts things in there that aren't real. It misses certain points. So I know social services are using these recording the calls now and using it to summarize the call and make action points. And the thing is, I've seen the speed of hanging up the phone call to getting the email back within like 2 minutes with a summary, which means I know for a fact they're not checking it. And under court of law, they're going to get themselves in a lot of trouble because any legal team professional brings in AI into court and they find a mistake. And believe me, with AI at the moment, because of how well it's just coming upon us from nowhere, and it's very intelligent. The courts are sieving through AI content like you know uh, in fine detail because essentially they can destroy a case completely by using AI. But us as the public can use it, and when I use it, I always look over it and once, two or three times I look for errors and I try and make corrections. Now, on the long-term plan of things now, so what I'm going to be doing, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be setting up TikTok, we're going to be setting up X, we're going to Angels. We've got YouTube, but we're doing overhaul of YouTube. I'm looking at setting us up in the school as well. I'm looking at setting us up potentially on TikTok shops and Shopify stores. I'm looking at expanding the brand and merchandise brand with United Children. I've
So
got
what you're
socks.
basically saying, Matt, right? I've just been told people like my sense of humour, so thank you. Yes, I've got to keep it funny and that because this is just a chat. This isn't going to be anything very serious, guys. Might probably turn very serious, knowing me. I'll probably have something to say, but this is just more of a hi everyone. We're finally getting round to it. It's starting, yeah. But I would like to say after you saying all that, Matt, look, if this doesn't happen now, right, we're all going to be blaming you.
Absolutely. And this is and what I've actually said from day one. There's people out there that want paying for doing things. I've told Angel I don't want a penny for anything. And if anything, I will be investing funds into this to get this moving driving forward a lot quicker at the moment. So I've got a lot of kit arriving next week, so I can be all professional in my office desk downstairs. I've got a new desk I'm going to be ordering. I've got a headset, microphone, better camera. I'm getting the whole caboodle done, so I can then, I won't look. I mean, at the moment, I'm just sitting with a mobile phone, which isn't great. But I've not used a desktop in a very long time. So
Sorry, Matt. It's AI, yes, doing it, but at the end of the day, it is social service as well. But the main reason why AI is doing it now, in my personal opinion, let me get that out there as well before someone sues me. In my personal opinion, right, yeah, they're saying a lot of time it is AI. So then when it all goes tits up, again, just me being funny, how else am I supposed to put it? They can then say, sorry, Your Honour, it was the AI. And then who's accountable? Who's accountable if it's AI? What are you going to do? Are you going to go out and go, where's this robot? I'm going to give it a slap. The accountability is now being passed to AI. So it's like, well, what are you going to do? I'm going to get away with it. Sorry, it was AI. It wasn't me. It was AI. Bull. I don't believe that for a minute.
I mean, personally, I think recording is brilliant. I mean, this whole body cam petition thing that's got over 10,000 votes so far.
Want
It's what
100,000 on that bad boy. That's what we want, mate. What's this
you do.
10,000? 100,000 on that, guys. It's just
And that's
that is one
what
of the most important ones I think so far
that
of
is.
all the petitions I've seen.
And that's why we're going to drive more platforms and try and get more exposure and get more sign-ups as much as we can as quickly as possible. Because the thing is, just if very soon the UK and the world, the norm is going to be you're recorded every waking second of your life. That's going to happen. And if you're on the right side of the law and you're doing things right, it's not an issue. And what I've seen is, I've had good social workers, bad social workers. I've had some good social workers who actually welcome me to record them. And you have other social workers who don't like being
Oh, so
recorded.
can you send them my way? I'll get them on here.
What's that?
The ones who like being
Oh,
recorded, I'll get a live stream of them. Can you get them on here?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, this is the
Let's see how
thing
well
now.
they can answer questions.
Well, I've seen this now on many platforms and groups now where you're getting social workers who have some have been removed, sacked because they advocated a complaint against a colleague, and others are resigning because they want no part in how the services work in the UK now. They don't want to be associated with the system, and the problem is now what's worried me the most many years ago, there might have been a few rogue social services who are a bit dishonest and they sort of make things up. But if there's social services, people are actually leaving because the system is broken. That worries me. That means if they're leaving because they're not happy how things are done, that means it's a standard now. That means that that's what they're promoting. This is really bad, procedurally unfair way. But again, as I said earlier, this is such a simple thing. I think for social workers to ask and to judges to check the veracity of statements is to simply say, well, we've proved this was a lie, and we've proved they lied about that. So if they happen to lie for us to breach a threshold, then really, why are we here?
I think
And
they
that,
will. I think they will definitely say that. I'm just answering a question. And blame AI because they can. Why not? It's the perfect cop out, isn't it? It wasn't my fault. It was AI messed up. No accountability.
and
What
yeah,
what can you do? So I think that's exactly what they'll use, and it's just
in the
another
court,
way of passing the buck and getting away with it.
well, in the courts now, they will be putting accountability on who submits to AI. There's a very famous case that happened. I think it was early this year or last year. We've probably all heard about the TMZ reporter Perez Hilton.
No,
Yeah, well, Perez Hilton he's one of these journalists that follows around all the celebrities and stuff. He was being sued by a celebrity because of I guess what he said about them. So he then decided to
who
self-represent
was it?
himself in the US.
Who was it?
Perez Hilton. He
See,
and
see, that's someone
he's one
I
of the
actually don't know. What the? There you go.
if you Google it, yeah, Perez Hilton. So he's a figure in the United States. He said, "Oh, I'm going to get AI to do my court case for me." He presented it into court, and in the court documents, it actually said that there was previous cases so it referenced previous court cases to fit the narrative of his case. When the court investigated these previous cases to cross-reference to give him the right order, it turned out AI had completely made up these previous court cases with previous court docket numbers. It just made it up out of the blue. It looks real, and that's what they call a hallucination. And I think a lot of people moving forward, I think we can talk about a lot of AI through this because moving forward, because AI is part of life now. It's there to stay for a very long time. You might as well get the right side of it. I always say to people, be nice to it. It'll never forget, believe me. And I
Well,
think AI,
you got to be nice to it. Have you seen Terminator?
yeah,
You
well,
know,
it's
I'm not gonna say bad things about AI very much on the internet, mate, because I don't want them knocking on my door and nuking me.
well, all these data centers going up around the country and around the world now. And famously enough, 30 years ago, Sarah Connor goes in and burns the data centers down. And now we've got all these data centers taking all our water. And separately, we've got all these wildfires at the moment. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on around the world. Yeah.
Well,
But what is
you
most
say that, right? Everybody's been going on about, oh, I got that text message, like we was all in church and the message went off and like 100 phones went off. Do you know what? I never got it.
Hey, I got one. It
No,
came
I
through
never
to
got
me.
it. I don't get these notifications. So if they're going to drop a bomb on my head, I'm not going to know about it anyway. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
I think that's why I live in the middle of nowhere. Completely, pretty much to stay off the grid. It's a very small village in the middle of nowhere. I'm surrounded by nice woodlands, and that's beautiful.
Yeah,
And
I know,
yeah,
mate, but you know, it sounds like bliss to me. You got two pubs.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alcohol duty hasn't found its way to your village, then, no?
You are
Alcohol duty hasn't found its way to your village, no?
well. It's delivered every 3 weeks by horse and car.
Oh well, there you
So
go then. Jobs are good. And
we'll have electricity here soon. So we're getting up to speed.
what's your pubs called? One's called the Dragon, and the other one's called Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. No, it's very common names: the Bell and the Black Bull. So
Oh,
yeah, very
okay.
common. Yeah, and each village and town usually has those
I
names
think
anyway.
next weekend I'll do a live stream from the pub garden, even though I don't drink.
Well, we could probably do one if you're coming down to see me next weekend. We could probably do a live stream. Yeah, so that'd be good.
Well, I probably have to give you your hoodie because if Evereary's delivering it, you're not going to get it.
Okay, yeah, I've heard the stories of every deliveries. Yeah, no, that'd be good. I'm looking forward to wearing the top actually. But I guess put the conversation back to the children now. Yeah, this group, it's all about reform, promoting change, offering support of people that are going through this. But the thing is that there's two elements here. There's people who definitely should have their children removed, and there's some people who may have made one little mistake, got their kids removed. But what social have done is they've made it a forever home, and it's a done deal till they're 18. Even if we've made a mistake in our lives, and there's intervention, there should still be a plan, a pathway to reunification.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
that
But there never is.
it should be done within 3 to 6 months tops with technology today. It doesn't need to be this long separation, but it's becoming obvious now that it is all about funding. I mean, look at all the job adverts now that come all over social media, desperately needing foster carers. And I think to myself, do you know what? If you actually, instead of paying one foster carer what they do for one child, you could actually separate that
£24,000 a year.
yeah, you could split that 4 ways and help 4 individual families stay
Easy.
together.
Easy.
Easy. So they talk about funding, they're just abusing the funding completely. And I have referred to them recently as parking attendants because where I am in Cambridge, I knew a parking attendant, and he said to me that I get commission based on how many tickets I get them to get paid.
Name him.
So
Name him. Name him.
yeah, the thing is, I understand social work, any jobs. You put in my sales career. You put in money to the business, they give you a bonus for it. It works exactly the same with social services, and I think you should never incentivize anyone to separate family. And that's where we've gone fundamentally wrong now, because now they're taking the piss with it. And they're just taking kids left, right, and centre. And I want to talk about PLA in section 20 on Monday, and how what it's supposed to be, but how it's used. And I bet when I tell you guys on Monday night how it's been used in my case, you're going to go exactly here too. But if we can get enough people together to actually start making a movement and starting to make applications to support, not just on our own, but on a slightly bigger scale to make change. Very soon, getting these petitions in place with Parliament's a really good thing. I'd love to make a little step into politics. It's something I was talking about Angel a little while ago. It's my next move, really. Start locally, move my way up. But I'm one of these people where if I can't see change happening, then I'm going to do something to try and make change happen. If that means I've got to move into politics, I'll move into politics because the children are our future. And this generation that today, me, Angel, and all you guys, this generation, it's down to us to protect the younger generations because in the future, the young generations, they're going to be controlling the country. But at the moment, they're just completely filled with toxic information. I mean, they're now removing mobile phones from school and they say it's distraction methods or it's to do with AI. No, it's because kids have been recording uh, their teachers teaching things they shouldn't, showing the parents blowing up about it.
Oh,
There's
without
always
a doubt. Yeah, there's a video gone viral at the moment, mate, where a teacher is calling a young lady sexist and all sorts because she thinks there's only two genders, and the teacher is not having it, mate, and pop are having a go at her about it. It's yeah, but I'm not going to get into that one either. To be fair,
yeah. No, but I mean, today we're just talking random today, which I love. Actually, I love to debate. I think laughter is the best medicine. I think the best way to deal with situations is to make a joke of it. 'Cause actually it instills it in your brain
well,
better that
see,
way.
I do that, and then I get told I'm not taking it seriously. And it's like if I
Oh,
took
no.
all this 110% seriously all the time, I would have what social services want, and I'd have a freaking breakdown. And like I said before, I'd be in a white room with a straight jacket on, licking the wall and pissing myself. Simple as, because I'd have just lost the plot by now. Well, there's no other way of putting it, is there? That's what I'd be doing. I'd be dribbling
Oh,
down
man.
a wall, peeing myself.
Yeah, we're at that age where that's probably going to happen naturally.
Well, let it happen naturally. I'm all right for that. I don't mind peeing myself in my own home, but why should I have to have a straitjacket on and do it?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So children, and one thing I'm very strong about actually for people that listen to this after the recording as well is I know how badly he wants to name and shame people, social workers, and what they've done, and put the audio out there and stuff. And I wanted to do it a long time ago, but I didn't. But I was very angry. I wanted to vent, and I started to follow so many other groups and so many other people. I mean, what I want to do now, you probably all heard of Juliet Lewing. I want to put a big shout out to her because she essentially paved the way forward for people to speak out. But the problem I have at the moment is I'm seeing a lot of sites going down, and I'm seeing people on the sites going, "I've just had a letter from the court because I've said someone's name on here." And the thing is, the last thing we want, and what will people will try and do, especially from the opposition and social services, is they'll try and find a reason to shut a page down that's getting the message out there and doing well. So I want to talk about their tactics, expose them as well in their flawed methods, procedurally unfair. We can talk about that and post that, but just not their names because, I tell you what, it's a bit like these paedophile groups, that go out knocking on doors and they stop these men or women talking to young kids. If they beat them up or the neighbour comes around and they start fighting and attack the paedophile, it makes them the victim. And the situation is the social worker as well. If they go to courts trying to say that, oh, my name's been defamed online, essentially, if you get that gagging order, you're not going to get your case through anywhere. And so it's really a case of preserving the evidence, preserving what we have, but we want to talk about it, just not names, but social worker A, contact supervisor B, etc. But I think it's important to get the stories out there because there's so many media companies at the moment not reporting it on mainstream media at all. And that's what's really annoyed me is that the lack of cooperation with political parties and the mainstream media, they're just not covering this much at all.
I
I mean, when they
understand what. Sorry, Matt. I understand what Juliet's going through, like 110%. The way that woman has fought and fought and fought, and at every turn, literally banged her head off the wall. My respect goes out with her just for the fact that she isn't in a fucking straitjacket licking a war.
she's
Honestly,
done
mate,
so
just absolutely diabolical.
Oh, she's a force to reckon with. I'll tell you that. And she's so passionate. She's so caring. And she's got a point. And you know what? I was watching a video the other day, and she was like, "I can't believe nothing's happening." Because I know she's reached out to Parliament. I know she's done complaint procedures with Ombudsman. I know
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
been to
yeah.
police all over the country. And she's right. The evidence that we've all seen on her page is overwhelming. And why aren't people doing anything about it?
I went
And
down
that's
the
why.
same route. I went down the same route, right? Yeah, I'd done complaints and everything, and I went down the same route. And it got to the point when what happened to my child happened to my child, right? I decided no, enough's enough now. Enough's enough. I can't do this anymore. Nobody's listening, and that's when I turned to social media. And I'm not going to lie, it was a really good decision on my part. All right,
Yeah.
because from me turning to social media, not because of what happened to my son. God no, like Jesus no, like wouldn't want that on anyone. Um, it made me just think, no. I'm going to carry on speaking, but it's no good me just doing it from my personal page. I need to start a group, which actually leads me on to, guys, yet again, I've got just under 7,000 followers on my personal Facebook, which I love, and I think you're absolute legends and couldn't be without you right now. But please, again, can you guys start going on to Unite the Children onto the group, because soon the only place you're going to be able to do this, what I'm doing here, will be on there. There'll be no live streams on my personal Facebook. There'll be no I keep on looking at the web camera instead of straight in front of me. There'll be no like in-depth posts about what's going on and stuff on my Facebook, because that Facebook really is about my life and like the life I should be having with my children, and like sharing funny things I find funny, like I don't know, a dog going head first into a water bowl or something, slipping on ice, whatever, or a cat doing something silly, jumping off a roof into a dustbin, something like that. That's what my Facebook should be about. But now it's about this. And like I said, I need to push the Unite the Children group itself. So please, guys, those who haven't, can you just click join on there? It's just one little button. Just click join, and then there'll be so much more stuff on there soon that you'll think, oh, what's happened to Angel? He's not on his own Facebook much, because I'm going to be on Unite the Children more. So please, guys, go over to Unite the Children. That's where it's going to be. And it's not just me. It's other people are posting stuff on there I'm not going to have on my personal Facebook. So there's other people's stories. There's news on there. There's all sorts of stuff on there, which is not going to be on my personal Facebook, guys. So you're going to miss out on a lot of contents if you don't hit that join button. So become part of Unite the Children. That's all I've got to say on that.
Yeah, and I appreciate, and Sergeant, I've seen a lot of comments on the United Children with things I've been posting, and comments here. Um, uh, as of next week, I will be able to respond more to the comments in here. At the moment, I've just got a Chromebook and it's a bit laggy, and I'm doing the camera off my mobile phone. So within the next week, I'll be have my whole desktop set up, and I'll be able to better quality camera, better quality audio. I'll be able to respond to the messages that you write on here as well, Anna, more often during the video. It's just lagging my end at the moment, so I'm
I
not
might
doing
I might have to surprise everyone, Matt. And when you've got all that set up at the weekend and you start doing a video, I might jump in the background and go, "Hi guys, I'm here."
You could do actually, yeah. Because by the way, if you're coming up next weekend, mate, yeah, as I said, I'm getting all the equipment orders. It's all going to arrive throughout this week, and
Do you know
yeah,
what?
so
If you do a video now the weekend, people are going to be expecting me to jump out in the background, and if I don't, they're going to be like, "Where's Angel?"
do we do the video before or after we've had a few drinks?
I don't drink.
We don't.
No. Well, do you know what? I don't know, but I'm not teetotal. Special events, I'll have a couple, but I'll never be drunk in front of my children. Never, ever, ever, ever. That's a fact. Doesn't happen. So
Actually,
I'm not teetotal. When I say I don't drink, it's because I don't go out every weekend. I don't drink during the night. I don't do this. I don't do that. But if I'm going out with somebody, I'll have a drink while I'm out. But I will always stop at 4 drinks. 4 drinks, and that's me done. I will never go over the 4 drink limit. That's it. Because I never ever want to be drunk in front of my children because they've experienced far too much of that in the past. All right, not from me, but far too much of that in the past. Look, no, they're just never going to see their dad drunk. It's as simple as that. It's not going to happen.
Do you know what I find quite sad now because of the way society is today? That you have to over explain you're not drinking. Because most people know someone might have 1 or 2 pints every couple of weeks down a pub, but the people will distort that into being a drunk. So the way society is today, you actually have to over explain everything.
Well, I've
So
got
I'm
to
always
anyway. Doing this,
I have to do it as well now. I don't drink around my kids. I'm not a regular drinker. I drink very rarely, to be honest. I'm bipolar. My brain
mate,
goes
you've
at a
got
million
to.
miles an hour.
Especially doing this because somebody will jump in comments and go, "Angel, you've been saying for the past year and a half that you don't drink. Now you're just saying, look, you do. Which is it? Do you drink or not? You're a liar. You're this." So you go, "Yeah, I have a drink, but it's like once in a blue moon. And if I'm out with someone celebrating, but I'll never get drunk. I'll never get drunk. I don't like how it feels to be drunk anyway. It's nasty. I don't like the next morning with a hangover. That absolutely sucks. Like, you just don't want to do anything apart from pretend like it never happened, right? And you just don't know what sort of trouble and that you're going to get into. At least if you're sober, you can go, whoa, listen, mate, back off, will you? I don't want to know. If you're drunk, you're more likely to go, come on then, and all that. I've been there, mate, done it. And no, I'm not going to be in the situation where I'm going to be in that situation again. So yes, I have a drink, very, very rarely, but basically it's easier just to say I don't drink because technically I actually don't if you think about it.
I do a lot of my because of my other work. I do a lot of the work when I'm sitting down a pub, and I sit there a lot of the time drinking coffee. It's that's my guilty pleasure actually. I drink far too much coffee, but that's my thing all the time. But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to meet you actually, mate, in person. We can put it together, get some ideas down on paper, do a joint video, and yeah, and obviously if I've got any, obviously I'm going to order probably the same equipment you've got, as I said, because that way, if I've got any difficulties setting it up, because I'm a bit like 20 years out of date with the technology side of things, then obviously you can help set it up for me.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, so I'll make sure the equipment's here ready for you to come over. And
I've
yeah,
got
I
to
think
laugh and that and keep a sense of humour because honestly, and I ain't gonna lie, obviously, there's nights where I've literally cried so much that I can. Do you know the old saying, cried myself to sleep? That doesn't happen for me. If you have a good cry, then I can't sleep, I find. So that's a weird old saying that. I don't know if it's ever true, but I've never actually cried myself to sleep. I've cried myself to the point where I couldn't sleep. That's happened quite often. So to answer your question and say, yeah, I make a laugh of it and I have a giggle and that, I can be very serious and I can get upset and I do cry. I regularly cry when I think about my children and stuff. And I'm especially if I'm doing something or I'm watching a movie and I'll sit there and I'll think I'm not going to say a name because I'm not allowed at the moment anyway, but I'll say so and so child, I would love to be sat here now watching this, and it'll bring a tear to my eye. I have got on my saved videos on my TV, right? Yeah, I've got about 14 videos, which films, sorry, they're not videos, films, which I haven't watched yet, but I've saved just in case my youngest comes home, so I can sit and watch them with him. So I may never see them 14 films ever, and I want to see them, but I'm waiting just in case. You know?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. No, I
Mental
can't
in it,
wait.
mental in it. The things you'll do, like you won't watch a film just in case you might have a chance of watching it with a certain child in it. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is all the
And that's
things
what,
social services don't understand and refuse to see. Look, there is nights where you'll sit there and think, I'm never going to watch that film because I want to watch it with my son or my daughter. And then you may never see it, but they just don't get it.
well, we've got to make a stand, though, haven't we? That's what we're doing now. We're getting our voices heard, hopefully, and more of us come together. The more we can expand and spread
Thing
the
is, though,
awareness
mate,
of
they
what's
hate
happening.
it. Social service absolutely hate it. They have mentioned so many times in emails and that,
Yeah.
and they've put social media, and the amount of people out there who hate me, like, and most of them never even met me, but generally don't like me because of what I'm doing. And I'm like, how can you hate somebody for what they're trying to do, for trying to make proper change to help children and families, but you hate me?
Well, this is the problem. They don't like what you're doing because you're right on the ball. You've nailed what's gone wrong and what needs to change, and that's why they don't like you. They come after anyone that can potentially get a following and try and promote
Oh,
change.
they make lies
I mean,
about you, mate, just to try and ruin you.
oh,
And it's like, what do you
oh,
get out of ruining me? You've just literally destroyed a whole organization, a movement, or whatever because you're lying. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about other movements in the past which have been totally
yeah.
destroyed because they made up bull about them.
Well, that's why I've been quite specific in sort of like disclaimer and stuff that you've added, and my views on name and shaming is actually to preserve this group for media interaction moving forward from more independent media outlets to maybe live TV. You know, we need to adhere to certain guidelines so we can actually be available to do that.
The
I
thing
know
is,
that
as
you
well,
guys,
though, on the flip side, Matt, mate, I have always said, and I said to the manager and the social worker 2 years ago, you do shitty things, I'm going to call you out and I'm going to name you. So if I stop naming them, what's going to happen? They're going to carry on doing it, mate. Sometimes you've got to name these people so they think, well, wait a minute. You know, you can't go your whole life and not say, look, when someone's doing you wrong, not name them just because of this or just because of that. Because some people deserve to be named. So I named them because what they doing was disgusting. And they weren't just doing it to me. I had other families in Oxfordshire saying that manager has done the same to us. One couple, right, and I've got the evidence, right? One couple have left Oxfordshire because of what one particular manager was doing to their life. So a different social worker and manager would take over the case. They left. So
you
sometimes, mate, you've got to name them. You've got to because it's the only thing what will stop them. Sometimes.
you're right, Anna. Actually, once you stand up for yourself and question things, you know, you're totally hated. And this is the problem that I've had. You know, I've stood up for myself. I've actually they've taken them by surprise. You know, having funds to do private law proceedings, it's caught them off guard, and it's actually caused them to be cringe-worthy, making a lot of mistakes, and they just didn't let it be documented. But no, I've got such a strong case now. But the thing is, it's very hard to individually attack each social services worker and in each county. What we need to do here is to prove that this is happening in every county with multiple social workers per county, so we can push for a reform on the actual social care system rather than individual social workers.
The
Because at the
marks,
moment,
the masked troops doing a good job of that at the moment, aren't they? Fair play to them.
well, that's their brand, and that's the thing they do. And you know, for them to do that, they're very brave, but they've obviously got a lot of experience with the numbers and
Whoever
how to.
runs that group, the main honcho, the big man, big woman, the one at the top, I would really like. So if you ever,
He's a legend,
excuse me,
or
guys,
her.
sorry for burping. That I've got fizzy juice. Um, if you're listening, guys, whoever you are, I would really like to interview you, please.
Yeah. No, I think what you've done is incredible. It's ballsy, I tell you that. But no, it's interesting actually because your site's still up and going for a long time, and I've seen other pages disappear by just naming two or three people, and the page is gone. and yours still up and running. So there's obviously something there that we don't know about, which I wouldn't mind learning
You talk about
about
the
that as well.
March Truth, ain't you? Not talking about mine.
Hours a month of food. Yeah, no, it's I've been watching it and it's like I thought it's been going for a long time. It's still up. Have I missed something here, or is there a way that we can maybe talk about people the way they have? I mean, it'd be great to actually. I mean, yeah, I want to
I
learn from
was.
other groups.
It's like I said earlier. Like I haven't got an email yet, and I only just got. Well, we got the disclaimer up to date. It's like I've been very slow at doing these things I should have had straight away, but everything else has been consuming me. Talking to people, listening to people, trying to help people, being there for people, and everything else what's been going on in the background. The things like the disclaimer, which is like major important, my NDA, people have to sign, and other things what's been going on I haven't done, and it's like these should have been some of the first things I'd done, like, you know what I mean? It's but all my time, and people say, oh, why haven't you done Twitter, Angel? Why haven't you done TikTok? Why haven't you done X? Why haven't you done Instagram? Why haven't you done this, that, and the other? They don't realize just how much time just Facebook and all the other stuff in the background with people talking to me and everything else, and trying to have a life. Yes, I'm still single. Don't mind admitting it. I'm still single. You know, I haven't got no time for anyone because I'm busy doing this. But
And
yeah,
now,
it's so yeah, I haven't got time to do it, which is where Matt now, thank God for him, for you, has come forward, because now he's going to be the one who's doing a lot of this and taking a lot of pressure off me, so I can concentrate more on doing this, guys, because I do get messages where people go, oh, we're waiting for a video, we haven't heard from you for a week. Well, if nothing's happened, I can't make a video. So now I thought, do you know what, as my court case now is going to court, I've got to take sort of a back foot on that, advertising that so much, publicising that, getting word out about that and everything else. Like I thought, start doing the live stuff and that, and start engaging with you guys more through here, and going out, meeting people and interview them and that sort of thing. I'm going to start doing more of that now, because as much as we all love the videos of social services being balanced, like, how else am I supposed to put it? I'm sorry, but it's true. And putting their hands up, oh, I don't want all this, right? As much as we love that, there's only so much you can do to annoy them before they even don't come to the door, because they're like, they think, us, Angel, I'm not even going to answer. So you've wasted your journey. So as much as we all love going around annoying social services, we're going to have to leave that to the auditors, I'm afraid, and go on YouTube, because I've got no one else to annoy.
and Adam, again, I see your point. Collaboration is really important because what normally happens is you get a collaboration of multi-agency professionals all targeting one family, and that's scary for some. But now, what's happening with what we're trying to do in other groups that I really want to push, we now want to be the ones collectively being more of us targeting them, but not in a sadistic way, in a judicial way. You know, there's going to be a lot of us in the background with all different experiences. We're all going to come together, work together. And yeah, I mean, it's all about coming together, getting as many people into the group, many people talking, you know, the messages here, lots of questions for next future videos. But, you know, there's a guy, I think it's Dan, he's posted quite a lot. He's been doing quite a lot. He's been messaging me privately, and I quite like the work he's doing. He's managed to interview or reach out to numerous whistleblowers and social services. He's producing a report. He's produced some great posts for people on how to advocate for complaints. So when he hears this, although he's been like their children, I think it's Dan Chell, something his name is, and he's been like Alan Sargent is a regular poster, and I actually love working with people that are regular. And everything you're saying here, Anna, I can relate to. And in the coming weeks, I'll be more responsive to what's been in here as well. Once I've got my system set
I
up.
think I
So,
just, if you have a look at the stream, mate, I think I took that because there's a delay. I think I took that a bit too serious then, and got into character a bit too much, because I pretended to take a drink out of my glass and there's nothing in it.
you know,
I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know how many you caught that, but yeah, I just it's empty, and I took a drink out of it. There's nothing in it, and I pretended to swallow. Like, what a legend! So on that note, right? If you want to go and get a drink and that, and I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to go and fill up my glass. I'll mute you for a minute, Mark. If you want to, Matt. Sorry. If you want to go through chat and whatever, and as soon as I'm back, I'll let you know. I'll be about 2 minutes. All right, guys.
I'm going to quickly go and top my empty glass up as
All right,
well of
right.
Ribena.
I'll be right back.